Hello everybody and welcome back again to Dragon Age Inquisition. We are back in Haven after we picked up 2 new companions in the last episode, and I'm sure we can actually talk to them now that they're here. I already noticed that Vivienne is standing over here, and right, Sarah was over here. However, I think before I'm going to do that, I will do something else, because I noticed that Cullen is down here with Cassandra now, and I think we haven't really spoken to Cullen yet, have we? So I think I'm going to do this first and deal with my new companions later. And before I'm going to do that, I want to check on my war table, because I believe I got some new missions to do. So let's start with that. Let's see.
You were saying something about Cullen?
Yes. Haven has limited space for our soldiers to train. Perhaps we could set up something over here.
Yeah, sure, you do that. Okay, right, yeah, this is just the money thing that I sent Josephine on again. Let's accept that. But yeah, I have some new stuff. Okay, what is this about? Red Jenny, Inquisition needs bees. Alright. I do not know how someone would come to this idea, but I can see the use. It is a large area to search, however. A memo from Josephine written on a note from Sarah. Know what ruins a party? Bees. I know a man who teaches how to jar them safe but angry. Stingy, no good for honey, but great for throwing. He's somewhere south. Sarah has scribbled a jar of bees hitting someone in the face, also a butt. Okay. Let's see what my advisors have to say about that. I can send runners among the barns. If this weapon can help, it will be found. If he's peddling them to fighting forces, my people will find the trail. It's too large an area to cover. Bounty hunters are a simpler bet. Well, it seems all fine to me. Cullen is the fastest again, but let's have a look at the other missions before. The Cult of Andraste. Before the Fifth Blight and the arrival of the hero Ferelden, heaven was occupied by cultists who worshipped the dragon. Right, those were the creepy people that I remembered from Origins. One they believed to be Andraste reborn. Both the cultist and their dragon were long gone by the time the Chantry arrived to build the Temple of Sacred Ashes. But there may still be undiscovered passages in the mountains containing their relics. With a concerted search effort, it might be possible to unearth something useful to the Inquisition. Alright, Josephine isn't participating. This is a task best left to a few select agents knowledgeable regarding dangerous magic. I have just the ones in mind. I'm leery of what we might find in these passages, but we have enough soldiers for a search. They will simply need to be careful. Yeah, Liliana seems to be more eager to do this, and she's faster, so I will probably use her for that one. Do we have anything over here as well? Yes, we do. The Chantry remains. The confrontation with Mother Hevara in Valroyo Market had the desired effect, to a point. The Chantry's condemnation of the Inquisition was lost amid a flurry of speculation over the actions of Lord Seeker Lucius, as well as a divide in the opinions on the remaining Chantry clerics. There are, however, clerics still loudly denouncing the Herald of Andraste. The Inquisition could leave them to their speeches, but dealing with them before the Chantry elects a new divine could be of benefit. A delicate hand is needed. We should focus on clerics who can be swayed, make their voices louder than those who oppose us. These clerics were not at the conclave for a reason. They all have secrets and weaknesses we should exploit. We should send a contingent of Inquisition soldiers to their Grand Cathedral. They can offer protection, and their visibility will remind the clerics they are not out of our reach. Huh. That's actually interesting choices. I think I will use Josephine for this. Let's try the diplomatic way. And then she can have the Cult of Andraste thing. And I will send Cullen on the B mission, I guess. Yeah, let's do it like that. Josephine can have this.
Let us begin.
Let's be gentle with the clerics. We don't need to antagonize even more people. Yeah, Liliana seemed to be quite comfortable with this mission. She already has the right people in mind, so she can have
Let's
this.
see what we have.
And yeah, Cullen, you can find me some bees.
To work?
Yep. Alright, I've sent them all on missions, so let's go back. And now, yeah, let's head out to Cassandra and Cullen and see what's going on there. Oh!
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
Well, who exactly are you?
Who are you, soldier?
Cremisius Aclasi with the Bull's Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Orlais and Navarra. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bull's Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
Alright. Well, it's free of charge, so why not? Tell me about your company.
What can your Bull's Chargers offer the Inquisition?
We're loyal, we're tough, and we don't break contracts. Ask around Val Royeaux. We've got references.
Yeah, tell me about your leader.
What should I know about your commander?
Iron Bull. He's one of those Kunari, the big guys with the horns.
Okay.
He leads from the front. He pays well, and he's a lot smarter than the last bastard I worked for. Best of all, he's professional. We accept contracts with whoever makes the first real offer. You're the first time he's gone out of his way to pick a side.
And why give us this message?
Why did your commander send us this information?
Iron Bull wants to work for the Inquisition. He thinks you're doing good work.
Well, if he wants to help us, I'm pretty sure we would welcome that.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Alright, the captain of the charges. Meet Iron Bull at the Storm Coast. Yeah, this is another Inner Circle quest. Actually, there is something that I noticed. I think it was in the armor tab. I picked up this Keen Blight Wasp Vita, which is apparently something for a Kunari. So I'm guessing that I will in fact get a Kunari companion. That's going to be interesting. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to go and find Cullen. He's somewhere outside of the village. So let's head over there. I may also need to do some inventory management after this episode. Oh, and some crafting. I bought this new schematic, so I definitely want to make a new armor. So where are you? Oh, he's over there. Yep. Here he is. Looking all stately and busy, but we're going to speak to him anyway.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
Well, I like to stand out.
At least I got everyone's attention.
That you did. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause.
Alright,
Now
I
it
see.
seems we face something far worse.
So you trust in the Inquisition?
You left the Templars for this. You believe the Inquisition can work?
I do. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
Oh! This is actually quite interesting. If you've been with my channel for a while, then you may remember that after I finished playing Origins, I added a little bonus series where I played the other Origin stories. And Cullen was actually in the Magi Origin, and my female mage kind of flirted with him, although it wasn't really so much flirting as it was a somewhat blunt invitation. And Cullen just ran away. So, I wonder if we can make him run away again? Maybe we are going to be a little bit more subtle here. You are more subtle than that, Freya, right?
No, but if you have one prepared, I'd love to hear it.
Another time, perhaps. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Ryden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
Alright, yeah, he didn't run away, although I wouldn't have blamed him after that creepy smile you just gave him. Freya, you were supposed to flirt and not scare the poor man to death. Alright, let's go and talk to him again.
Yes?
Alright, let's see. Yeah, tell me about yourself.
I should get to know you better. We are working together after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
How to act for Eldon. My esteemed Lady Sidonia. I'd like to take full responsibility for Lady Marshalett's odd behavior of late. You see, we recently began the study of history. I thought that it would do the young mistress some good to be exposed to all Thedosian cultures and not just Orlais. It was a foolish thought. Regrettably, your dear daughter has taken a particular interest in Ferelden folklore. She first developed an affinity for King Calanet, which seems to have developed into borderline infatuation. She stared at me eyes wide when I told how he unified the barbarians with his allegedly incomparable might and charisma. Every time I tried to move the lesson onto something more important, she insisted I'd tell her again about Calanet. How the Ferelden say his hair was twice as yellow as the sun, and his chin more chiseled than the tallest peak in the Frostbacks. Twice now. I've had to tear down drawings she's tacked up in her bedroom of the man shirtless. Then we moved on to the werewolves, which was even worse. As you may already know, the Fereldans venerate the folk heroes Dane, and Hafter. Dane was said to have been a werewolf and Hafter to have descended from one. No enlightened man or woman could ever view such beast people with anything but revulsion. But you know Fereldans and their love of wildlife. Unfortunately, these tales of the wolfman set the little mistress' imagination afire. When she suggested we put on a play for you and her lord father, I could not say no. I'm afraid that's why Marshallette was running through the mansion, wearing wet furs and frightening the chambermaids. She was rehearsing a scene in which Hafter drives back the Darkspawn. I have been informed that some priceless family heirloom were destroyed amidst all the confusion, and I cannot fully express my dismay. I understand if my abject failure as a tutor results in my immediate dismissal. A letter from Brother Bernard to his former employer. So, I guess what you're trying to tell me is that Cullen is Ferelden. Alright.
I grew up in Ferelden, near Honleith. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
Isn't Honleith the place where we found Shale? Interesting. Yeah, Varric's from Kirkwall too.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
He might be onto something there. So yeah, you were away a long time.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
Yeah, tell me about the Blight.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower.
Yeah.
The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened at the Circle? Yeah, it's kind of interesting that I actually know a lot more about Cullen than she does at this point, because we saw him in Origins and in Dragon Age 2. And I'm not sure if he actually would tell me about that.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
Few who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not
Yeah.
to speak of it.
Okay, that's fair enough. Tell me about Kirkwall.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart, an apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
Is that a sense of humor I'm detecting there, Cullen? But yeah, I guess other than all the crazy stuff, it was okay in Kirkwall. Yeah, tell me about the rebellion.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
And how did it end?
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order, but Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Interesting. Yeah, that's all for now.
I'll let you return to your work.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Actually, I think I want to speak a
Did
little
you
bit
need
more.
something?
Let's see. Yeah, sure. Tell me about Templar life.
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
If you need insight into what the Order is doing now, I'm afraid I can't offer more than you already know. Anything else, I will answer as best I can.
All right. What do Templars do? I would imagine that she knows what Templars do. I mean, apparently she comes from a family that has a lot of Templars. But, you know, for the sake of completeness, I'm going to ask all the questions anyway. So, yeah, what do Templars do?
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates, or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
That is an interesting question. What do you think of mages?
What do you think of mages? Are they all a threat?
I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession at the least.
Alright, that is good to know, Cullen. So yeah, why did you become a Templar?
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars at our local Chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humoured me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
Yeah, that's not very old.
13. That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
It's still very young to make such a, life decision, because being a Templar was kind of supposed to be something that you do for the rest of your life. I mean, apparently he has left now, but there are circumstances that allowed him to do that. Yeah, what about your family?
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
Alright, so you've lived in a circle.
You've lived in the Circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's harrowing, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
So you do not speak to the mages unless they make indecent offers to you.
Do Templars and mages never speak to each other?
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their
I
charges.
see.
If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
And how are Templars trained?
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
And did you enjoy it?
Did you enjoy your training?
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the Chant of Transfigurations wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Yeah, tell me about their vows.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages. That sort of thing.
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of lyrium and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
Okay, we are finally getting to the really important questions here. So, are there vows of celibacy?
A life of service and sacrifice. Are Templars also expected to give up physical temptations?
Physical? Why... why would you... That's not expected. Templars can marry, although there are rules around it, and the Order must grant permission. Some may
Alright.
choose to give up more to prove their devotion, but it's not required.
She's really persistent, isn't she? But apparently it is a good Ferelden flirting tradition to ask men if they are virgins, because that's basically how Skadi started flirting with Alistair as well. It was basically about the same subject, since he was a Templar recruit. So apparently the myth of Templar chastity is quite an important topic among the women of Ferelden. So yeah, go on. What about you? Let's have some hard facts here.
Have you?
Me? No. I've taken no such vows. Maker's breath. Can we speak of something else?
Yeah, that's fine. That's all.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Freya, you're really, really bad at flirting, you know that? But then again, I don't think he noticed that I was flirting with him, so I guess he's just as bad at as she is. So yeah, that was an interesting talk. Actually, I think there were a few more dialogue options that I can use.
Was there something you needed?
So yeah, let's ask this as well. Why did the Templars leave?
Why would Templars break away from the Chantry?
The Order believes the Chantry no longer supports their efforts. Not to the extent they should.
What has changed?
But the Templars have served the Chantry for ages.
And in that time, they've come to take the Order's services for granted. Templars risk their lives against blood magic, demons, abominations, to feel as if those efforts are dismissed. I may disagree with the Order's actions. That I'm here is proof of that. But I sympathize with their frustrations.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing you left the Templars, because if I remember the first meeting between Juno and Cullen, and he didn't even notice the mages that were running around in front of him. So maybe a different career is something better for you than a Templar. Anything I should know?
Is there anything I should know?
The Lord Seeker's actions are a mystery, but the Templars will aid us. They cannot sit idle while the breach remains.
And tell me about your colleagues.
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
Yeah, what about Josephine?
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
Alright, and Liliana?
How do you like working with Liliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone. Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but Liliana is just as responsible for its formation.
And tell me about our soldiers.
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs for the time being. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
Alright, no more
I
questions.
should let you get back to work.
Alright, I guess we'll let him do his work now, and yeah, actually, since we're down here, why not have a look at our new crafting
Travel
recipe?
safely.
What is that? A golden nug? Synchronized collectibles. This will synchronize your collectibles across games by downloading collectibles that you previously uploaded and uploading newly acquired ones. Would you like to synchronize them now? Okay. This wasn't here before. Anyway, yeah, I think I want to have a look at the schematic that I bought. Ah. Yeah, let's try to craft this. I mean, crafting is something that I will probably do mostly off camera, but I think occasionally I can do a little bit of on-camera crafting. Maybe you can give me some feedback. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to matter. It's all the same armor rating. So let's just use iron, since this is really plenty to be found everywhere. And what do we have here? Cold resistance. Cold resistance. Oh, it also changes the color. Well, but I don't have enough nug skin. I kinda like the white coat, but at the moment I can only get cold resistance. So, yeah, let's use the ram leather. I think I like this color better, and since it's the same stats, I will use it. Heal bonus, magic defense, spirit resistance, magic defense. Yeah, let's use just the general magic defense. Alright. Craft item. And yeah, you can see the weird hat that I'm wearing, but luckily you can't see it in the normal cutscenes. So, can we rename it? Yeah. I'm being very creative today. I mean, I'm probably going to craft more stuff later, so there's probably no use in giving them fancy names all the time, unless I craft something really, really amazing. Yeah, look at that. This is so much better. I'll take this. And I really like how it looks too. Yeah, okay, so we crafted a new coat. Very nice. The episode is almost long enough. However, I did notice that some of my advisors have returned. So let's finish
So
this
we have
episode
Tevinter
by...
activity in the hinterlands, and the Templars are compromised.
You think the Templars are responsible for the attack on the Conclave?
I think they're a piece of it, as are the Tevinter in the hinterlands.
Yeah, I haven't seen any Tevinter in the hinterlands though. Let's head back to the Chantry, accept our reports, and then I'm going to end the episode.
I don't understand. I thought the Chant of Light bound us all together.
The Chant of Light is beautiful, sister, but it's just words. People need more than that right now. They need action. Look at Mother Giselle. You could do worse than follow her example.
I like the little conversations going on in the background all the time.
For I walk
Especially
only
since
where you would bid
they
me.
seem to be kind of continuing whenever I pass by. Alright, let's have a look at the War Council. Okay, let's see. Cullen has returned. Red Jenny, Inquisition needs bees. We have received weapon plan and located an apiary to supply us. When the idea was presented, the beekeeper tended his fingers and sneered, "Of course." Quite disturbing. Rewards received. Jar of bees grenade recipe. Alright, I got some grenade recipe. Very interesting. The Cult of Andraste. It's incredible how many passages remain undiscovered even after the Chantry's arrival, and they scoured every inch of these mountains for years in search of anything related to the sacred ashes. The cult didn't build all of this. It was here long before, and who knows how many years it would take to find it all. Of the new passages uncovered during the search, most were long empty or contained goods far beyond salvage. A few, however, yielded some artifacts of interest, and one evidently contains strange runes we have yet to translate. If we can find someone capable of doing so, they might prove of use. Life Ward Amulet. Alright. Oh! Something new? The runes discovered in the mountain passage during the recent search are of a type never seen before. Neither Tevinter nor Elven, and perhaps dating back to the time of Andraste herself. There are few who might be able to translate the script, and the benefit of doing so is unknown. We have agent with magical knowledge and the means to acquire text. Let us work on this ourselves. I know of several Antivan scholars who can be discreet. They would happily translate the runes for us. Let's have a look at this. Truth or Dare, the Imperial Court. A letter addressed to Vivienne lies opened on the table. A note has been added to the top which reads, "Josephine, darling, you should take care of this. V. My dearest Vivienne, you cannot have heard the shocking allegations against the Inquisition. Or surely you would have never been seen with them. Allow me as a friend to open your eyes. People are saying that Divine Justinia is indeed alive, but that the Inquisition, her closest advisors and most trusted servants, have orchestrated all this chaos on her orders. That it was Seeker Pendergast and Sister Nightingale who sabotaged the Conclave in order to eliminate opposition within the Chantry and cut off the heads of the Mage Rebellion and Templars in a single stroke. To save your own reputation, you must escape this acquaintance immediately. With deepest concern, Viscountess Elodie de Moreau." Huh. We need the support of the nobles to combat this rumor. I can arrange a few key visits. Proving the Divine's death would just be used against us. We need to find the source of this rumor. We can't prove the Divine is dead, but we could escort people to the crater to see it for themselves. I'm not sure. I think I would go with Josephine or Liliana. I'd say we send Liliana on this one, so that we can find the source of the rumor, because that might actually be useful.
Let's see
let's
what
do
we
this.
have.
And I will wait for Josephine to return, and then she can have this one. And yeah, there isn't anything else. I suppose I could just send Cullen to gather some coins, since I'm going to end the episode, and he will have returned by the time I start the next recording. So yeah, let's do this. And everyone's busy, and we can go back. Alright, yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to end the episode now. Next episode, I will talk to my new companions, Vivienne and Sarah. So, thank you for watching, and see you next time.